Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video to do with how we can sometimes come up against personal feeling challenges within ourselves where we know we have to break free and life is most definitely asking us to step up and take the reins of our life, and it is quite literally hold on to the reins. It's not the thinking mind saying get ready to run as fast as you can. It's quite literally when you go to hop in a car or on a horse, you got to hold on to something. Okay, so it's not the holding on that is my point. It is the awareness that you have to do something, and it will be like a particular breaking free, and you'll feel it at the gut, the solar plexus, and you will feel it subtly at the heart and throat in our energy field, because we're not just physical, so you're not just getting a physical sensation. There will be like particular vibrations there that, because you have to break free, and the cognitive dissonance of past behavioral patterns that are in our field, it's very difficult to listen to the heart and throat and push through, because you've got all that I know I need to break through. I know spirit is guiding me somewhere. I know things are falling into place in a certain way. I'm seeing it. I am somewhat realizing I have to adapt to allow this to happen, but energetic dissonance from our patterns, our mind's awareness of how those patterns have played a part in our lives, all that energetic dissonance plays a part in distorting us moving forward as to what's calling us at the gut in a challenge, right? And the challenge, you can trust if it's repeating signs to you, even though you're feeling the dissonance in the energy field of who you've been, and that you have to step through it for what is being called in this challenge. You can trust that it is a solar plexus, rising awareness, and beyond all doubt. If that is repeated for you enough, let it expand into your true space of your heart and expression field, because when you open that, that's when you have a clear channel awareness that you are right, you are being supported, things are opening up and clearing in this field now, and there are and have always been massive solutions which you weren't able to notice. So that is my brief description of the picture that I get when we have like a bridge to cross with the challenge, where we have a definite step. It's called our solar plexus, and we know that all the cloud of what we've lived is still there. We can feel it. That's what we've got to acknowledge. Okay? But the repeat is happening to you. You feel it at the solar plexus. You can see it in the wider energy field. Things are coming together to support it, but you're still in like this cloud. So solutions don't seem like they're yours. Life doesn't seem like it's necessarily supporting you because you're still in that dissonant energy of from past to breaking through, or from past getting yourself present. Even if you don't have a challenge, just getting yourself present each day so that you don't go out building up challenges, because you're more present, getting to know yourself, because we'll always have something coming through at the solar plexus that is asking us physically, which is energetically, something to get through, something to grow through, something that happens quickly and we've got to learn something that's coming toward us and it's for us because, you know, it's just hitting our energy field a certain way and it is for us. So there's always something happening in life because it's a relationship world. So the energy works that way. So my point of this is, with all the doubt that clouds the human experience that we are more than just human, and we feel alone as though, you know, we couldn't possibly do something new or break through something. With all the cloud of energy, we've got to understand is there and admit, okay? Because the reason why we clear and ground is because we're energy. And because we're ongoing here for a temporary life experience, we've got to clear some stuff and make our way, keep going forward. So when things are tough and you feel like there's a wall there, you have to get back to the basics in a way that says, right, in all the dissonance that you feel, but your consciousness has got to be allowed to have a little space in the mind that says, well, hang on a sec, I'm going to ground this thought. How many ways is there to cross a bridge? I've just got to get up and do it. Okay, so that says to the cloud around you, I'm not giving all this, which is energy, and past is illusion because you can't go backwards. I'm not giving you all my attention. I'm crossing the bridge. In all the toughness, in all the cloud, because essentially, even though that seems like one decision, that's like a million decisions in one. Because what you're saying is there is more than one solution. It may just seem like a walk across the bridge, but how much did you not sit around taking into account and beat all the illusion by getting up and doing the challenge? Because a true challenge won't actually have like a challenge for you to get through because it's part of your path. It won't have definitive fears. Like if you really want something, but then something comes in and says, whoa, no, it's not the time. Okay, that's something to listen to. That's like what you could call a real fearful feeling, hold back, not right timing. So you have to discern that. Like if something is for you, it will be repeating in your view. You won't be able to stop like coming across it in your day, getting synchronicities, having all different thoughts about wanting it. And so it's like this huge thing. And yeah, you just simply have to make the decision that it's for you. So I wanted to talk about that because that's part of my life experience at the moment, with a meeting up in a reunion for someone toward me. But it's not only that, it's got to do with our 3, 4, 5D and beyond, because we always seem to get stuck in a cloud that says there is no solution. Pretty much there is no other solution. So many times we just kind of stretch the same solutions or take a different angle of them, instead of like the true reality that we are like helped as energy. Yeah. So the mind construct is very solid and solidifying, and we just have to keep remembering that the nature of life, although solid, is a spiritual form. So it's all a spiritual form. It's all like a truly a material dream space opening and unfolding, because the design of our certain paths that we will have choices on has already been elaborated on in a space held in the space that will come to fruition, and we are just kind of dancing in that space, making the choices. But there are some things held in place in the whole dimensional design reality, because planet Earth was for that. Let's see how far we can take it, and if the light and dark will be of a more supportive nature, and what sort of time frame that will take. And so in this day and age, it's like rising our consciousness to the whole truth. You know, not the play on limiting is better in some way. Like, because it's just like layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, where our vibration has just kept saying it's only this way. And then you have like leaders densifying it that it's this way, and then so you're pretty much going like under the bridge in a way, right, if you limit yourself. And so you just be careful of your cloud space when you say there's only one way for something, or something has to be a particular way, because the whole truth is we're not here forever as a solid nature. And everything disintegrates in some way into Earth again. And she does a marvelous freaking job of assistance with that, doesn't she? Because, I mean, look at all the trash we dump. So that's just an obvious effect of her cycle of assistance. And so in our clouded space, if we dump more of that by grounding and various energetic spiritual clearing and cleaning, learning more about our design and receiving, so that we are in this consistency, not it's only one way. And then we've got the hiding energy reality that's under the bridge, in the dark. Just try and, stop this process of endless solution and more solutions, because that's pretty much what I was getting at when I was saying, yeah, you might just be doing a simple walk across the bridge, but all the cloud around you was stopping it, and all the cloud is of a dense repeat nature. And when you set yourself free, you cross that bridge, you've made the choice that it's not limited. And you're in the true cyclical nature of the wholeness. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more communication in this uprising, which is the necessity of that, from shifting from the cognitive dissonance that, are we just this, or are we capable of more? And it is all through our education and our communication. So the best way, and I think it was over the Christmas break when I was asking myself and my guides, because I'd gotten frustrated, when in the hell are we actually going to stand up and make some changes in these repeat things happening on our planet that we just don't seem to be coming together for solutions? And I did end up received a download, and the repeat message was, keep asking more questions. So you can see how that cycle works in a way that we have been very good at becoming submissive. We all know that. I mean, you can take time out to think about it, but it's like there's certain patterns put in place. We continue them. We don't think we've got any other solutions. We get clouded and crowded in our life, and we're not crossing bridges when it comes to challenges. And so we need to stop and think. There is more solutions, and I think I might listen to my recording of that message and ask for an updated version of that. I don't feel like doing that right now, but I will do that soon. As to the main point they were getting across was, keep the cyclical flow of questioning. So if we don't question, then we're not expressing the questions that come up in us. We have things bubble up, like I did. And it's fine to let it bubble up in frustration or, anxiousness, like, where is the change going to come from? Why is those we see with power on this planet, why are these things still repeating? It's not that there's not solutions. And so we question ourselves, and then we have to get the questions out there. And it's not because we're putting a responsibility on someone else. It's because we want to open up the conversation. And as long as we're not doing this to ourselves, and all one has to do is sit back and go, okay, we've tried that. It doesn't work. Systems have been built on it, but people aren't happy, and look how they get taken advantage of. And that's really what really got my goat. It was around the Christmas period, and I'm just thinking, I get to relax at home, in peace, and do the things that I enjoy doing. And I'm still hearing about these such horrible things in the world going on. And it's not just like, you hear on the news something horrible has happened, when we know a million horrible things have probably happened around the world as well. At the same time, we're hearing this one thing. This is layer upon layer no real shift, but you're just hearing the media or someone describe that it's still going on. So in a way, us humans are like, oh, that's a new thing I'm hearing today, but really it's freaking old. So to really blow open the old, it has to come from within us, that we want to cross bridges and get the hell out of the crap hidden systems that somehow seem to be manipulating us not believing there's more. And the time is up for us to say there is no God, or religion will save us. We have to actually stop and pinpoint, well, what the hell is religion? And really pinpoint it. And we don't have to have long debates over that. It's believe in the highest good of all, and don't let yourself be pulled down by clouds that this beautiful, miraculous planet and all its gifts and us here creating amazing stuff, are we really limited when it comes to what is self-serving nature? Like, not planet, plants, planetary nature. Self-serving nature of we are limited, we need to put up with this stuff can still repeat because that and that is in place, which is just energy in our fields. So we question it, we open it up, we make sure we're questioning ourselves, we make sure what we put out into the world is like, am I acting from ego and self-serving, or am I rising in my consciousness to make sure I'm accountable? And always ask yourself and remind yourself, you're not here essentially to accumulate. So just check in with your agenda as to whether you're battling in this world to get ahead monetarily or competitively financially, when that's not solving anything to do with the way we live on this planet. Rising in consciousness or higher solutions is not going to come from having more money. Rising in consciousness and having better solutions and connections with each other is not going to come from egotistically hidden under the bridge perspectives that only some of us can cross this bridge. So we really have to eliminate and allow ourselves to be accountable to ourselves and keep our heart about it, because we're not perfect humans, but in that heart you are accountable to rising in it. So it's nice to be around people who are keeping each other accountable in that way, you know. So you're honest with yourself and you want to take the true route of raising consciousness on this planet. Well, that means you've got to be accountable to catching yourself when you've got, you know, egotistical energy that can easily rise, because it can be identified as, this is how I get love or attention, and this is how I feel better and grow, when it's really the ego. So we have to pull our own egos back and remember that the heart consciousness for all of us is holding a space, and we will all glow in that space. And allow openness for the better solution of galactic consciousness that undeniably we are all a part of. And because we can't not be, okay? We're not out here on our own. Like, seriously? So take a breath and we take that in, and we hold space for these things, and never allow yourself to be and catch your mindset when you think no one can cross a certain bridge, or I have to hide under this bridge for some insane reason that we've been trained that way. My main point for doing this is I just know once we open up more to what I was saying, which we are all doing, sharing our consciousness from within, and that we're growing in this awareness, that we just have like so many solutions. Okay, but it's gonna just take some breaking open. And that is happening now undeniably, because if you could picture it, for the new earth, it's a new layer of energy of a higher vibration. So undeniably so, you're going to feel on this earth, depending on how much you believe that you are more than just human, you're going to feel energetic shifts that want to break down old. And in the letting go of that, the quicker the better, the more you realize, because you're more in resonance with the solutions. They'll drop in. And, you know, in my experience in my lifetime, they drop in heaps quick. If we're quite happy releasing the old earth, and think about it like a gardener as well. When you put nutrients into the soil, well, essentially you're feeding it higher consciousness. Because if you can drop away what doesn't work, what feels limited, and all the baggage and bondage of essentially the dissonant field that is not serving you. And so your thoughts will go to self-talk of it, and we have to get out of it. I'm dropping that earth. If you want this, which is the truth. So I'll sit with a moment's pause of that known fact. Because when I feel into the vastness that hasn't had a chance to come into me yet, like be fully attracted to me, because I passionately feel into life on this planet, and just know and feel the expanse of our support, the quicker you drop away old that doesn't work. Now, that's within your own life, and that's within whatever project or solution you're looking for. Drop away the old earth. Comes in, answers come in quicker. And so you can drop away the old and be fed the new. So the more you're open to that flow, the clearer your field, and you won't ever believe in like not clearing out things that aren't serving. And the way you know is because you feel it in yourself. If you're unhappy, you've got to be honest with yourself that there is some old or something for you to look at, either an ego block that life should be this way. That's an old earth that needs to be looked at. Get the new from it, like the message, and let the old drop. You will feel whether something has to go. Some people are not honest with that. And they tell themselves that holding on to things is a way of life. Okay, and if you get signs in your vessel of more discomfort, then you got to look at what you're mentally, emotionally holding on to, because you want it to be a certain way. All right, it is an ego pattern, old attachment, old earth, and now we do have the more light coming in, so we're going to feel more and more what earth needs to go, like what attachments to the old earth needs to go. So let go things that aren't working, because we are supported and very solution oriented beings. And don't be afraid to ask questions in a way that opens up a continual flow of conversation. Like, don't ever be shut down again that it should just be this way. But don't do it with ego. Do it with, I'm just holding a space that we can and will find a way. Because we are well supported. And that is, that is the truth. And, if you have any doubts of that, just really sit back, let go of everything and go, okay, so are we really supported on Earth, or are we just little physical ants running around keeping busy? Okay, well, there's these planets in our solar system. They speak of a universe. There's a moon and a sun for growth, rest, spiritual release, and watering our seeds. Watering what seeds? Our seeds of life. We must be supported by more than just being physical little busy building ants. And hold that space. Seriously. Allow that subtle truth that you're a part of. And let that simmer or sifting through your energy field. That's where the head can pop in. So you have to be accountable to that ego talk, because it's well developed on this planet that this is not true and this is the way it is. And all that speaks to is limits. And that's why spiritual practice, conversations opening more about this, questioning more things, politely, determinedly, educatedly, making sure that each of us are accountable to flexible, open, solution-oriented flow, wellness, availability in the field to us. It's never not, and that's trickery if people say there is no way. Sometimes some solutions may take a little bit more talking and allowing, but it is never no. They must still suffer, or things can only be done this way. Well, not if it's causing more grief than real, healthy, well-being, growth, progress. because that's not for some on this planet. That's like saying some of the universe, or the universe supports some of us. Those ones with that extra dollar signs on the plastic cards. Only well-being and growth and health and safety and support is only for them. Or the various other ways you could look at limiting some. Don't get me started on it, because some have climbed a ladder to be perceived as better than. So just remember that there's way more solutions than what we've been putting up with. And we can work together nicely and expansively in that. And consistently. It's not like oh, we'll do that for an hour in a day, then the rest of the day is like, no, back to limits or something, you know? Like there's just gaps of creating unlimited discussion, solution, but then all of this doesn't get looked at, or it's not important enough, or I don't know. All of life is important, and we're always open to vast solution. So limitation is of the old world, and you got to kiss it goodbye. And allow yourself to live in the rise. Bye for now, everybody. Chat again soon. Thank you.